so brutal, everybody. Over 90% down. If you're an ADA holder, it's been a brutal basically 2 years of downside. And if you're out there right now and you're looking at this chart and you maybe already are picking up on something, comment below and let me know if you picked up on it. But this isn't an ADA chart. This is a chart that was down. But this was in 2000, 2001. This is Amazon crashing over 90% in around 2 years. In this video, I'm going to compare Cardano and Amazon. And I want to just say this right from the get-go. I'm not saying these two things are similar. They are entirely different. They are not similar in terms of technology or what they're accomplishing, but there is so much similarity in terms of the principles and in terms of, especially for me as an ADA holder, as a long-term value investor, wait till you see the similarities. We're going to actually evaluate a letter that Jeff Bezos sent to shareholders in the midst of this crash. And just wait till you see how much it applies, I think, to Cardano and ADA holders. And I really think you're going to agree once you see it. So hit the like on the way in, everybody. If you're not a subscriber, make sure to subscribe. Bringing you that Cardano content, obviously, but also crypto analysis, Bitcoin analysis, and news, all that good stuff. It starts here. Lucid tweeted, I think posted yesterday. In 1999, Amazon stock reached an all-time high of $5.25. In 2001, Amazon dropped down 30 cents. We saw in the last bull market high for ADA just over $3, and now we're actually just below 30 cents, 25 cents. You think that's brutal? And this is in an environment, which is crypto, where it's almost expected. This is what cryptos do. Altcoins just crash. Imagine Amazon, being an Amazon holder to 525 and then all the way back down to 30 cents. Sound familiar? He says, purchasing ADA in 2023 will be looked at as the equivalent to buying Amazon stock in 2001, but with more potential because ADA has unlimited utility. Think about that. I agree with that. And this is really where we start comparing. He's saying it has more utility, so maybe more potential. And the reason why is because Cardano is being built to be a financial operating system for the world, right? If that's the case, this means that if it's built correctly, right, that means companies like Amazon could utilize to build on top of Cardano blockchain, could utilize Cardano blockchain. That's why Cardano has so much potential. And we're actually going to compare price movement, price action, but also when we compare market cap of early stage ADA to market cap of early stage Amazon, you're actually even going to start seeing the potential for value to be higher on something like Cardano than Amazon. And Amazon's valuation is, I think, over like $1.5 trillion right now, just to give you some perspective. So let's dig into this. Let's talk about this. So to really set the tone and context, in the late 90s, the dot-com companies out of nowhere, blowing up, right, became all the rage. It's very similar to what's happened with crypto. The crypto boom is very similar to the dot-com boom in that regard. The company's valuation soared, hitting more than 50 times, Amazon, 50 times its IPO value in December 99. NASDAQ peaked and Amazon stock tumbled month after month, losing more than 90%. There's the chart. We just looked at it. Does it look familiar? Here's an ADA chart. Here's ADA. Here's Amazon. Obviously, Amazon's on a monthly, ADA's on a weekly, but the similarities are incredibly similar. Let's actually just go to the monthly on ADA. There it is. And here's the monthly on Amazon. Just look at that. It's crazy. For context, and we're going to look into this Jeff Bezos letter, you're really, I think, going to like the similarities, the comparison here. But for context, September 2021, $2.22 billion market cap was Amazon. And that's like towards the bottom after that crash. $2.2 billion. For comparison, ADA right now, just under $9 billion, $8.9 billion. So that gives you a kind of just a comparison. It gives you an idea or perspective of Amazon after a 90% crash before absolutely exploding was around $2 billion market cap. Cardano, just under 9 after also crashing over 90%. Now, let's look at this letter from Jeff Bezos and make some of these comparisons. He said, to our shareholders, ouch. It's been a brutal year for many in the capital markets and certainly for Amazon.com shareholders. I mean, replace Amazon with ADA, right? and you'll feel it. You'll see it. Our shares are down more than 80% from when I wrote you last year. Nevertheless, by almost any measure, Amazon.com, the company, is in a stronger position now than at any time in its past. Let me read that again. Amazon.com is in a stronger position now than at any time in the past. Let me go to a Cardano chart and let me just say that for Cardano. Cardano now is in a better position than it was at any time in its past. We go to the same exact part of the timeline last cycle, meaning prior to the next halving, right? Prior to the next bull market. We're here right now. Cardano is way better positioned than it was back then at this time. We didn't even have staking. The Shelley hard fork and the staking mechanism didn't even come into play until July 2020. We didn't even have staking. We didn't have a multi-asset ledger, all these wallets that can just carry all these Cardano tokens. We didn't have smart contracts. We didn't even have scalability beginning. We were just at the early stages. It is better positioned now than it was before, and that's after this huge crash. Not from over $5 to 30 cents like Amazon, but from over $3 to right now around 25 cents. That's ADA. This goes on. This work gets kind of really good. So if the company's better positioned today than it was a year ago, why is the stock price so much lower than it was a year ago? As the famed investor Benjamin Graham said, in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine. That quote is so good. In the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the short term, that's what people are doing. They're voting, right? But in the long term, it's a weighing machine. And this is why, as a value investor in ADA, I'm so intrigued with Cardano, because it has the fundamentals going for it. So it's going to stand, in my opinion, stand the test of time, especially when we start thinking about things like sustainability, security, scalability, decentralization, these things that are important to a successful blockchain. In a long-term macro environment, Cardano's offering these things. So Jeff Bezos said, clearly there was a lot of voting going on in the boom year of 99, and we see a lot of voting going on in crypto even today, right? So much voting is what we can call it, and much less weighing. And this is why ADA gets so much hate. Cardano gets so much hate. It's because nobody's weighing. Everybody's voting. And crypto in general is very just tribal, right? It's so much tribalism that happens in crypto. Nobody's really paying attention to the actual important aspects, right? The fundamentals. We're a company that wants to be weighed. Cardano wants to be weighed. It's a blockchain that wants to be weighed. And that's how IOHK approached this. And over time, we will be, over the long term, all companies are. It's the same thing. Over the long term, all blockchains are. In the meantime, we have our heads down working to build a heavier and heavier company. Industry growth and new company adoption. I wanted to read you this part. Industry growth and new customer adoption will be driven over the coming years by relentless improvements in the customer experience of online shopping. Does that not apply? Especially, maybe some of you are just ADA holders, you're not really paying attention to what's going on in the Cardano ecosystem, but this is where the explosion of DeFi right now, it's happening. All these companies building on Cardano right now, these startups growing, total value locked coming online. This is new customer adoption. This is the beginning stages of that. And he's saying in relation to Amazon, over the coming years by relentless improvements. And that's what Cardano has been doing. Upgrades, improvements. And we see this time and time again, right? Something like the Vassal hard fork and scalability. Improvements. These improvements in customer experience will be driven, and not to mention front-end improvements in terms of wallets and just Cardano being able to be used by the masses easier. These improvements in customer experience will be driven by innovations made possible by dramatic increases in available bandwidth, disk space, and processing power, all of which are getting cheap fast. So that's Amazon's approach then. And it's so similar to what I see happening with Cardano. So it's like we see price action so similar with early stage Cardano, early stage Amazon, and obviously the price action similar with early stage Amazon and early stage Solana, right? Or Avalanche. But in terms of the quality, I think that Jeff Bezos was aiming to produce in building Amazon and really wanting the blockchain to be weighed. Think about that. Cardano blockchain, IOHK built it so that it could be tested and it will pass the test. And that means in terms of things like security. And I just, especially as an outsider looking in on something like, and this is not to talk bad about Solana. I think Solana is probably going to perform great as a token in the next bull cycle. It probably will. But I'm not interested because of its security issues, right? It's nowhere near as decentralized as Cardano. So those things that really, I think, need to be weighted on a long-term basis, Cardano has these things. And I think it's crazy, obviously, not just to compare Amazon and the prices of ADA versus Amazon. They're so similar, but you dig into even what Jeff Bezos was writing to the shareholders back then, and wow, it applies so much to Cardano and ADA holders, I think. And I want to end with this. This is from 2020. I tweeted August 10th, 2020. And just real quick for context, August 10th, 2020, where are we at? We are right around here, somewhere around 13 cents, right? I don't know, maybe 14 or 15 cents. I tweeted this. I said, receive this Cardano question on YouTube. Which companies are actually using ADA right now? This was back then in 2020. And my answer was, what were you buying on Amazon when Jeff Bezos was building Amazon in his garage? My point there was just saying, when Jeff Bezos was building in his garage, that's kind of where in August 2020, Cardano was. Just still building, getting ready for companies to build and use ADA, use Cardano. I said, have a little foresight and be patient. This applies to every crypto. And every crypto, I think, does have the opportunity to do this. I think Cardano's doing it the best. That's why Cardano is kind of the highlight here. But that's just the point. Now here we are, years later, not August 2020, but September 2023, over 3 years later, as I do this video, we actually do have startups utilizing Cardano to build on. And the way that this can grow on a global scale, think about World Mobile and what they're doing, connecting the unconnected, banking the unbanked, real world use case. This is just the beginning happening right now. And I thought this comparison would be very interesting for a video. So please let me know your thoughts, everybody, in the comments below. I appreciate all of you still hanging in there in this crypto winter. I really do. I hope you're having a great start to your week. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.